But yeah, so this is kind of where, so one of the advantages of the way we model things is I can live with your generally accepted accounting principles or international
Yep.
financial reporting
Yep.
standard financials. I just take them and create an alternative presentation that is mathematically pure
Right.
and
For
balanced
management to make better
for
choices
management.
and a better insights and to make better choices. And that's
Exactly.
the
Now,
distinction of taking, like that client I shared up front, taking accounting information and putting it into management actionable insights so they can
that's
do a
right.
better job. That's what you're
Yeah, you
essentially
you
doing.
can't
Yeah.
you can't manage a business from generally accepted accounting principles. As a matter of fact, the accountants shudder when I say this, but GAAP is more intended to hide the truth than to illuminate it. And so I got news for you.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've lived in that world, and I
Yeah.
choose to live
Yeah.
in the. I want to live in the productive world that creates profit and creates true profit.
Yep.
Now, we both get to the same number eventually, but I believe that there's a way to get there with greater insight and greater understanding and improve results because of it. Because I mean,
Totally.
at heart,
Because if you can't see it, you can't improve it. And that's a lot of stuff is buried in a lot of the reporting and companies we start with. You
yeah,
can't really tell because it's all just
yeah.
glazed over. Yeah.
Now, so we talked about this. So a lot of the companies you deal with are in that 50 to 500 million range. Now, this happens even way earlier. I mean, we're seeing businesses even at 5 million have this issue, but we try to start it as early as possible of essentially looking at segmentation of profit streams, but not, once again, trying to not get over allocated in how we deal with it. Because I remember years ago, as a young controller for a bank before I started my firm, I did the first ever branch profitability analysis. And as a good
Right.
accountant, I took the branch activity and then I allocated all the overhead, and every item on the P&L got allocated out somewhere. And I sent it out feeling really good because it all balanced, and
Yep.
everybody said, "Wow, I don't have any, you can't charge me with that. I don't have anything to do with that number."
Oh yeah.
And I was listening to them and I go, they're right. And so I went back at it and I said, okay, what are the directly associated revenues and expenses to that branch? And I'm stopping there. And everything that isn't directly associated, I'm just going to hold it below the whole group, as this is the nut that this group of this 10 branches has to get over combined, this nut at the bottom that supports
Got it.
everything.
So direct expenses of the branch and then all branch pool of expenses, almost like an all branch overhead, but at a branch more.
Well, all
Okay.
really not all branch, but all bank,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and
Okay.
yeah. And so then what I did, but I had branches that were deposit generators and branches that were loan generators. And
Right.
so the loan generators had to pay for the cost of money from, um, they had to pay for the cost of money, coming from the other group. And then,
Yeah. There was a, yeah.
and vice versa. And the
Yep.
deposit generators got the income, from the other group.